All right, quarantine. I think this is episode 5. I think we're in day 2,400 of the lockdown, and we're all getting a little bit crazy. So we brought on maybe the craziest person we could find in the entire ball hockey community. I'm sure most of you guys already know him. You've seen him with the disco ball. James Brown, Ottawa Godfathers. Thanks for joining us, bud.
Thanks for having me, boys.
So how you been, man? What's life like in your world? We see you got the nice little backdrop there. You got a nice little collage of memorabilia.
Yeah, I heard you guys ripping on my jerseys there about how heavy they were. They were like 2009, 10. Like they've withstood though the test of time. And when you go to like a national tournament here, you have to have long sleeve, right? So in deck, you short sleeve for sure. So we're on our way to those. You know, when we first started, our very first time going to Philly, we didn't have jerseys. We stopped at the Target and bought 20 white Hanes T-shirts and Sharpies, and we draw a smiley face on our chest and draw our numbers on the back.
You should do those in a jersey style, but bring them back as a throwback, like a one-off tournament. Like, so when you go back to Philly, wear those like the first time.
Like have somebody's daughter draw it and then get it put on.
Maybe when we come to Iowa for the deck tourney, we'll have them for that.
Oh, he does listen. I like it.
There we go.
I'm telling you, boys, I listen.
Dude, we're not supposed to pitch that until the second half of the episode.
Well, we definitely love to travel, so it'll be our Godfather list.
Yikes.
So
how much do you guys travel is what I was going to ask. Like, what's your guys' reach, or like how many tournaments a year? Because we see you guys at a good number of them.
Well, one year we did Harrisburg, Philly, Pittsburgh, Barrie, Boston, and Niagara. And then we mix in some our own provincial tournaments. And I play Masters as well. So I went to Masters. I played Worlds at Masters. So I was playing we love to play. Like, we just love the reason to get away and play and party, right?
Well, then you definitely need to make your way to Iowa.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Iowa's a sick place to party.
Don't do it.
I don't know. I don't know the difference from one to the other.
Try
Is there bars there?
A bridge.
Is there bars in
What?
Quad City?
Is there bars? It's mostly bars.
Yeah, like places to go party.
Oh yeah.
Girls?
You got like 3. No, I think there's probably 5 or 6 bars within walking distance of the rig.
I was going to say there's probably 10 bar owners that play.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
that's good.
They'll have beer vendors.
What are the police like there?
If you're playing deck hockey,
deck hockey. They play deck hockey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'd go to the Tampa tournament, and like 5 times and those 5 times, 4 times we were involved with the police. So we try to stay away from those guys. All in good, like never a ticket, nothing. But
I was going to say none of them were your fault.
No. One time we got robbed at our hotel.
No way.
It's crazy. Yeah. We were at this little tiny motel in Tampa because we always stayed in Tampa the Thursday night, and then we go to Clearwater on the Friday or until the Monday. But so we stay in this little hotel. There's 4 of us, and one of the guys is not supposed to be. He's supposed to be at work in Montreal, but instead he's saying he's working from home. And so we had his laptop, everything, and we're just chilling by the pool. Our room is right across from the pool, so our door's almost there, whatever. And we go out, we do our party thing, get back at like 3 a.m, and my buddy Brian goes, "Browner, did you shut the door?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I did." And then we just push the door a little bit, and it just opens. And our room's been ransacked, and the hinge is all busted. His gym bag's gone, laptop's gone, iPad's gone. Like, it was ridiculous. We're just like, what the frick? All the police and the whole top there, and he's like, well, are you sure you locked the door? I'm like, it's busted from the inside, and I don't even know why you care. I'm drunk. It's 3 a.m. I was like, I don't even know why you care. Like, it's not like you're gonna try and like find the guy. It's done with now. It's like, you listen here, mister. I don't know how police work in Canada, but in the States, we try and find our criminals. Get outside. And I'm just like, oh my God. And my Holden's like, Brownie, get away from him. Get away from him. So I just like, whatever. I'm drunk. The cop shows a super cool guy, like Boston, like that cool guy. And next thing you know, a forensic van shows up. They dust for prints everywhere. And then the guy that had most of the stuff stolen, they took his wallet, they took his credit card, and he has like an alert, so it keeps alerting. He's at McDonald's, he's at 7-Eleven. So the cool cop goes. So we end up getting another room, sleeping over. We're on our way to Clearwater, or we might even been in Clearwater, and get a call from the cool cop. He's like, hey man, we went to the hotel. We showed a picture of the guy from the footage from the 7-Eleven. Turns out it's like the groundskeeper's nephew. So we're on our way to his house now, and we'll let you know. Call back. We get the bag, we got the laptops, the iPads, we got everything. He's like, oh, you guys are you. We're like, what the hell? So that's one of our cop stories.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit on the connection.
Oh, that's going to be the most interesting story ever, because you get right to a spot where you're like, well, yeah, and then we talk to the cop, and then it starts to chop up, and we can't quite hear what you're saying, and then you go, and then it cuts back to you. We can hear you perfectly clear, and you're like, that's when the forensic van showed up, and I was just like, whoa, whatever led us to the forensic van must have been crazy. All right, we had some technical difficulties there, but we're back with James Brown. We're going to find out why he's not in some sort of American holding cell down in Florida.
They did ask us.
No, we got you back on the phone, so we can hear you loud and clear now.
Good, sweet. They did ask us to go back and testify against the guy. Like, we're going to make a flight to Tampa just to testify against some guy. the point is, they caught him
for that one.
Hey.
It's like, yeah, can we just call in? Like, I'm not flying halfway across the continent.
Yeah, are you guys gonna pay for it?
Exactly.
Not worth it.
Yeah. They could plan it. They could have planned it around the next tournament. Maybe we consider it.
Unbelievable. But so you were kind of talking about how you guys, your first tournament or whatever, drawing the smiley faces on the jerseys and whatever. But how do the guys on the team? How does everybody know each other? Did they grow up playing together and then decide to form a team, or has this whole been, kind of just a product of, we want to go play in a tournament, we got to pick some guys up, and now we're all buddies?
No, well, we all, like, the core of us, like me, Hent, and Holden, we've known each other since, I guess, 02, 03, and then we started playing more and more, and on different teams, coming together, playing together, and then then we just, like, the team started to change. You'd have 5 guys would go play with another new 5 guys, and we just started picking up, but we all actually hang out so much together, it's ridiculous. Like, the entire, like, a team of 20, I'd say 14 of us, 12 of us see each other in awful. So it's a lot of fun. That's the best part about it.
That's legit. Well, tell us about some of the off the rink activities, because you guys are, I guess, multi-sport athletes. We'll call it that.
We do have a softball team. That's weird. We took the boombox to our provincial tournament for softball, and the softball team has like 6 of our ball hockey guys on it, and we have the tuxedo T-shirts, everything, and you see the A players looking at us. We're in like the lowest division. We're like, when we play ball hockey, we're in the top division. This is so weird to be on the other side. But we went into the rink where the big party is like supposed to be, and they turned the music off that they were playing, because we had the boombox going. We had the women's team start partying with us, dancing on tables. It's always everywhere we go, that boombox is like a magnet for fun. I've actually like coat checked it at bars in Niagara. I go to the bar, I go right to the bouncer, I go, man, this thing is a killer. Once the party's over, can you watch? I'll give you $20. yeah, dog, I got you. And like they hide it off for me. End of the night, this one time in particular, we come out of the bar, the country bar. It's like 2:30 in the morning. We go across the street from the bar in an open parking lot. I turn on the boombox, start playing country music. People coming out of the bar all come over to the parking lot. We were in the parking lot for another hour, having people dancing, hooking up, like meeting people that they didn't see in the bar. And then finally this cop rolls by at like 3:30 in the morning. He's like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" I was like, "Man, nothing. We're leaving." He's like, "It's 2:30 in the morning. It's 3:30 in the morning." He just loses it on us. And but then he lets us go. Like, what's he gonna do? Arrest like 50 people? There's literally 50 people in a parking lot, 3:30, dancing and partying.
Yeah, for those that don't know what he's referring to, when the Godfathers roll into a game, they've got like a rolling boombox with a disco ball on it, and they show up with their own pregame, basically soundtrack and light show. It's utterly fantastic.
Yeah, and you know when our tournament's over because you'll hear the Celine Dion's Titanic rocking when we're walking off the floor. Yeah.
My heart will go on.
Unfortunately, I hear it too much.
That's ridiculous. How did that whole thing start? Was that your idea?
The boombox?
Yeah.
The boombox was one of our players, LeMay, had bought it, and once I saw it, I was like, "That thing's amazing. You got to bring that to Philly with us." We brought it, and we were in the hotel getting ready to go to the game. I was like, "Why don't we just like bring it with us and have our own warm-up music, and then we can put on whatever we want?" And he was totally cool with it. And then so that first boombox was only used for that tournament. Then somebody else bought it, and we destroyed his within about 3 months. I probably still owe him one. I've been through about 7 or 8 of them. Oh yeah, like they take the one that I have right now has got like a wood-based block built on it with extra industrial wheels. Like it's ridiculous. I had a brand new one that I'd had in the back of our van on our way down, like brand new, not even used yet. And so somebody opened the back and it fell out and smashed the front. But the disco ball is still good, so it was a good part. Like it's still good. And a women's team in Philly, they actually emailed me after the tournament and told me they had just ordered one online and they wanted me to know that they loved it and they weren't trying to copy us. They just want to have fun too. And I said, "Go for it, enjoy it."
Oh yeah.
When I see people with boom boxes or anything on the floor now, I always like give a little smile. I think we started that.
You're an inspiration to the world. But then I'd say probably the second thing you guys are the most famous for, even though we kind of ragged on you for the material, are the jerseys that everybody can see behind you. So how did you guys go from the smiley face Hanes t-shirt with Sharpie on it to a beautiful powder blue, something very formal?
Yeah, it's like, we had come up with the name of the Godfathers first. And then I think it was LeMay again, or he just showed me a picture of the black tuxedo ones. And so we emailed one of my buddies who does jerseys and stuff. And I was like, "Can you get these for us?" He got the black ones. 2 years later, we got the white. The blues we got from a Quebec company. So those ones are actually a lot lighter and more comfortable. And then the red ones we got, that company changed whoever their supplier. So we got these red ones we'd never get to wear because they're those are heavy. And there's no breathing in, especially in the summer, like when it's hot. It's not fun.
Yeah, I saw those when before we had started recording. It had gotten up, and it was like, "Why aren't you wearing those? They're utterly fantastic." They're like
the Don Cherry one,
Don Cherry looking.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I actually designed it too. So see, we did it with the Canadian flag. You can kind of just see it sticking out like it's underneath the jersey, right? Like it's a t-shirt underneath. They're pretty sick. I love them. But unfortunately, they don't go anywhere. They just weigh your bag down.
Yeah, you guys should get an orange one too, to counter the baby blue. Just go full on Dumb and Dumber and commit to it.
Oh yeah, we've had that talk too. There's 2 guys arguing. One wants St. Patty's Day, and the other one wants the orange Dumb and Dumber.
Ooh, the St. Patty's would be sweet, like a plaid.
Yeah, plaid, green, a little bit of yellow, orange.
We'll
only get to wear it one day a year though.
That's all you need.
It's Well, Mock, you went out on St. Patrick wore our jerseys, our 2+ jerseys.
Yeah, dude, I had a guy offer to buy the Mafia jersey off me.
Oh, that's nice.
He was like, "Where do I get that?"
Yeah, our
What? You just have one already, and that's all the time it took?
Well, no, it's one that I was looking at getting done for us, but it's yeah, I wear it for goalie.
Oh my god! Pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
It's kind of become my life, is the tuxedo thing. I guess it's only cool to me, but that's all it matters.
No, it's best dressed team in the league. Comes out, everybody knows you're there, and then you come out and you're like you're in formal wear.
Yeah.
Plus, it works. If you need to go to a wedding, throw on a hockey jersey. You're good. Like you don't have to change.
Wait, so how do other teams react? Is what I was gonna say. If I'm not cutting you off.
Well, it always like people love it, right? Like it makes people friendlier with you right away. So like when they see like how many guys will come by, not just me, like different players, people watching the games will just go by like, I love your jerseys. Like, and it's just like if it's another team saying it, like you've already developed rapport with somebody you haven't even played against, right? Like I always joke that in our league there was this one team that's just full of jerks. Like they're rough. Like they'll do the dirty stuff that I can't stand that shit. And this one big guy on D, he's always doing dirty stuff. And every time I get near him, I was like, hey man, that was a sick play. Hey man, that was really good when you did this or that. And I'll point out something that he did. Thanks, Browner. Like, thanks, man. And like, knocked me down, caught me before I fell, and apologized. Right? Like I'm just a nice guy. I'm just here for fun.
Oh, that's fantastic. So speaking of kind of fun, and we were talking about that initially, you guys you're a close-knit group, and I just noticed your shirt, the Golf Fathers. So how do you keep that rapport? How do you keep that rapport going, like off the ice or off the rink, and off the softball field? Apparently, what do you guys do?
We just rip each other all the time, like all the time. Like if you actually were near our bench in between games, if we have a minute, I bet 15 seconds is like, let's go boys, let's get it together, let's go next period. The next 45 seconds will just be about ripping somebody for something they did last night, last year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Like the insults will like carry over. It doesn't matter, right? So it's like there's one guy that's still ripping people for ripping our goalie for having a goatee in 2013. Like because you don't like goatees. What's it matter to you? He's also the one that Sullivan mentioned that he chirped the Arsenal guy about diabetes because the guy was a little weight. What he actually says, what is your problem? You obviously have type 2 diabetes. Like he actually specifies which type of diabetes he has.
That's good. Because he's a doctor. He's not just a ball hockey player. He's actually a doctor.
He's a doctor of being a piece of shit. He's one of my. Like I've known him for a long, long time, and he's actually like we've always had a team of like everybody's a really nice guy, or he's a piece of shit, but he's our piece of shit. So we love him, and like if you didn't know him, you'd just be like, what the hell is this guy's problem? Like he's so opinionated in every single way about anything. Yeah, like you wearing your hat backwards, you're done. Don't wear khakis.
Well,
like don't wear cargo shorts. Like don't do anything around Purdy.
The important thing is there's no one on our podcast who's like that at all, so that's good.
Yeah, I think it's you, eh? But
don't ask.
Hey, speaking of things we can use against somebody later, Shawnee, I think you need to show the world your new update.
Really, we're doing this. Oh my God!
Freshly born baby boy.
Come on.
Calling it out. Thanks, there. Appreciate it.
I'm writing this down. Hold on.
A week early.
Really beautiful, son.
I gotta go super uncool right now and just do something real quick. Mom! Meatloaf!
Oh, jeez.
Just kidding. I actually need a charger for my phone. I just wanted her attention. Sin! I need a charger. My phone's gonna die. Working. We're good. I still got 5 minutes.
Oh my God, dude. We need to bring you back so much.
Hey?
This is the episode that people need, man. There's gonna be some people dying on the floor laughing. Sean's got a cue ball head.
Let's go. It's dying right now. The whole thing's crashing. Thank you to the best girlfriend that I have.
He'd be good boots on the ground since we can't make it to.
There we
I have no idea.
Yeah, that was good. I'm glad you finally said it. Somebody had to say it, Hull, so I'm glad it was
Say
you.
what?
I have no idea. No clue.
Yeah, Holt, nobody knows what you're talking about. No.
Not at all.
He'd be good boots on the ground for tournaments that we don't make it to. Like, he'd be good for that.
Yeah, they did mention that one time. Did you grab me a beer, too? Thanks.
Well, hey, I was going to say, when you showed the golf jersey, you ever had one of these guys?
Oh, yeah, I love those.
Palmer?
Oh, Spiked. Spiked, I've never seen that.
Dude. Yeah. It's great.
That's good.
On a summer day.
Yeah. Any day.
Give them a shot.
Overcast spring day.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
so what else?
here. It's nice here.
Oh, today's miserable. But obviously, tons of stories. And you came out telling probably one of the better ones I've heard in quite some time about in Tampa. What else do you guys have? In
Tampa? Thank you. In Tampa, actually, so when we go there, we'd always rent like a minivan, and I always got the insurance put on it, and we called it the A-Team van. You know, I remember the TV show, The A-Team. I drove it over curbs, sidewalks. It didn't matter. I didn't give a frig, right? And so this one time we're lost in this little town where the tournament is, and I'm driving. There's 6 of us in the van. We're all sweaty, no seatbelts on, nothing. And we're driving, and I'm coming around this like little water thing, and I realize we're actually been driving about a minute in the wrong direction. Like it's a one-way, and we're going the wrong way. So I'm like, oh crap, oh frick. And so then I was like, hang on, boys, A-Team. And I go right up onto the sidewalk, over somebody's lawn, across the street, up another sidewalk, over another lawn, and I start going the other way. But before like I turn that final left to come back the way I was going, the car sitting in the parking lot right there is a state trooper. And he just comes flying over, pulls us over right away, and he comes, and I'm like, before he even gets to the car, I'm like, sorry, stupid Canadian. He's like, comes up to the window, he's like, you're not too stupid, you put your seatbelts on pretty fast. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, sir. He's like, what in the hell were you doing? I was like, I was driving, I realized I was going the wrong way. And then, didn't you see the sign? I saw the sign when I was going the wrong way, and I turn around and I come back, and then you're pulling me over. Where are you going? I was like, we're going back to Clearwater. All right, what are you gonna do? You gotta go down here, take a right, go left, get to the highway, break down there. And I don't know what your rules are like in Canada, but around here we wear our seatbelts. Have a good day. And I couldn't resist. I go, actually in Canada, seatbelts are optional. I don't think they are, sir. Let's just go.
That was his main concern, was not you driving over a curb and through the lawn. He was like, buckle up if you're going to drive like that.
Lawns, sidewalks, it didn't matter. I didn't care.
You guys are reckless, man. So when you guys are out and about, are there any teams that, I guess, frequent with you guys? Because you guys seem like you really can burn the midnight oil. Is there anybody else that comes out and goes with you and tries to go beer for beer? Or?
Oh, the Saints tried for a bit. A few of those guys, they're soft, eh? But the Americans partied with us in, I think, Pittsburgh last year a little bit. We seem to like all the mask guys. Jonesy and Caduco were my favorite guys from the Saints, and then Corey. And I don't say who my favorite people are, but the Americans definitely get along with quite well. They party with us a lot. Good guys. We stay at a different hotel than everybody else when we go to Philly, and they let us use the breakfast area that everybody families are at, everything, right? So the guy was super nice the first year. The second year, come back, you guys, they let us go party there as late as we want. We can make as much noise as we want. We don't have to get our rooms. We stay out the other guests way. And he comes to me on the Sunday morning, and he's like, James, or Saturday morning, he's like, James, I have no problem with you guys partying, and we're playing. We have poker, beer pong. There's video games set up, everything set up there that you could imagine, right? And he's like, I have no problem with you guys partying there and having people over. No problem. But I just have one request. You guys please shut her down by 4:35 because my cleaners come in at 5:30 and the breakfast opens at 6. So they're bringing in these big blowers, like doors open, blowing off all the beer smell. He felt bad having to ask me if it was okay, and he's the GM of the hotel. I love that.
Dude, you freaking blow my mind. You blow my freaking mind. Unbelievable. So, are all these crazy stories just you coming and terrorizing Americans, or do you guys, are there any good tournaments up in Canada that you guys, frequent that you've had good experiences with?
We go to we've never really taken our actual team to Barrie though. We never got to go to nationals or provincials because we were never affiliated before really. So we didn't get to play much, and like we've never gone to nationals. We'd love to go like compete against those teams, but it's never. You'd have to go win a qualifier, and then last year's qualifier was the weekend after Pittsburgh, so we lost 6 of our top players, and we had to pick up some good players, but they're not what we lost. So and no, not really. We don't party much in Canada. It's way more fun in the U.S. Way more fun.
Well, I'm glad you're a fan. What's the best tournament of the year?
I love Niagara, the Clash, but Corey's Pittsburgh tournament is right up there now. It's only been one tournament. It's definitely the best. Philly's always I'll always go to Philly, but Pittsburgh's the best. When we first started, actually, I was going to the Mark Madden, his tournaments in Pittsburgh. We were playing in D and then we played C, and someone told us like there's a way better tournament like higher level in Philadelphia. And so the following year we went to that. We walked in, we saw a guy get plastered into the glass. We're like, what did we just sign up for? And we lost out to the Fusion that year. It was our first time really like seeing the U.S. ball hockey and stuff. And we were like super addicted.
That's crazy. I can't believe that you guys compete with like the gods and all these other teams, and you guys are just out there living the freaking dream, man.
Yeah, screw
the tale of two things, right?
Yeah, the gods last year we played them 3 times. They beat us in Philly, obviously 4-3 in overtime, and then we tied them in Niagara 3-3, and then we lost 2-1 to them in Niagara. So we're right there with them, and the one thing that I really love reminding like the Americans and the Saints and stuff is we only play arena ball hockey 3.5 months a year. We play from mid-April till August, and then we're done. The rest of the time we have to play in crappy gyms or 3-on-3 in deck. Like, we don't get to play. We don't get to play in the arena, and we love the arena. So that's a little.
You guys are coming into some of these tournaments
all the time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You're coming into these tournaments cold.
Absolutely. The first time we play arena is when we show up to Philly. That's the first time we play since the Niagara tourney. And Niagara tourney, the first time we play since we go to Boston or Barrie. So from September till March, the only time we play is if we play the 3 tournaments or maybe go to Harrisburg. So, yeah.
You guys got to work on that, because if you had that consistency and played year round, we might have a new number 1.
Yeah, we drink a lot more. For sure.
No, I don't get it. I mean, do you guys have a bunch of dudes on the team that are just like stallions that also just stay up all night and have drinks and stuff like that? Or like,
oh my God.
I was going to say, there's no way you guys can keep up with them.
These 2 clowns, one year we had to play the 7 a.m. game in Philly, I think 3 years ago, and 2 of our better players didn't go to bed. And when I came down in the morning, they were like, obviously didn't go to bed. It was like 6:30 or maybe earlier because we played the 7 a.m. game. And I'm like, you friggin' idiots. And they're like, don't worry. And we won that game 2-0. They both scored. So it's crazy.
That's so crazy.
You can party, but you got to be able to play. But maybe that's why people say, you gas out or whatever. We've done the not party as hard thing, and our results are the same. Like, and going back the last 3 years, I think we've been until Niagara, this past Niagara, we've been into at least the semifinals in every tournament we've entered, which is good for
What the
us.
hell?
Right?
Wait, so you guys have never had a night where you just like it got away from you, and then you woke up in the morning and you were just like, oh yeah, we're gonna lose, like from the first puck drop, and you're like,
Never.
we let it go.
No, never. No.
I don't believe you, but I love it.
No, I'm dead serious. It's never no, because we would everybody's got to be held accountable, right? Like if you can go do it, you can stay up all night, but you better be good the next day. You better be good, or else you'll just be ripped apart. So everybody, and we really do have three really like I consider number one. I have to put 1, 2, 3, but we have 3 first lines. We can play the defensive style. We can play the offensive style. We can play the rough style. We have players that do everything, and our 3 lines bring everything to the game, right? So we don't get bullied. We can score. We have good goaltending, and when we play a style that we're all used to.
Wait, so are you like kind of pulling the strings from the bench as far as like,
Yeah.
coordinating things like, hey, this line's up next and these guys doing this and that,
Absolutely.
or is it sort of just yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's why I'm fourth liner and proud to do it. I'll get in there and run. I'm also the oldest guy, so. But
Jackie Moon.
No, Jackie Moon, yes, but yeah, no, I tell them like I'm the one telling the guys who's up, who's going, and nobody really complains. If they do, they're cut. Just kidding.
I like it. We're gonna change the mentality of our teams now. No complaining, play like a champion.
Yeah, like with the exception of maybe one guy, nobody cares who scores the goals or how many points they have or any of that stuff. All we care about is that we're on to the next game. Right? Like we're doing whatever it takes to win the game to get to the next one. So, we did win Boston a couple of years back, and we were down 2-0 early to the Americans. We were down 4-2 to the Americans, and we end up coming back. The guys will always keep going.
What's your guys' biggest win? Like, is there one that just sticks out where you're like, oh man,
I think
we epic comeback, whatever, and then we just let it ride the next day?
Our blown losses are all that I can think of.
Ah.
Our blown leads, like we were actually in the finals against the War Pigs in early 2011 or something, and I ran the goalie twice, 2 penalties. They scored on both power plays. That hurt, but yeah, no, I don't think of I only think it's a bad thing. I guess that's the Canadian story. I mean, sorry, I got nothing, but no, I don't. There's no real big wins. We won Boston, but there's only the Americans and the Saints there really. But yeah, no big wins. Like we've beaten the gods, even though they dummied us a couple of years ago, and we've beaten the teams that seem to beat us when our semifinals and finals lost. But we just got to beat them at the right time.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can transition here and introduce us, maybe get us a better idea of the team. Like, who do you guys have in net? Like, what's the starting line look like? Who's the biggest scrapper? Who's the guy that I guess you alluded to that loves scoring goals all the time?
Oh, that's Rayom. Rayom's he's our superstar scorer. He's 6'4", super okay looking, and he's got a bomb. He's got dangle speed. He's very, very good. He's definitely our best offensive player. Our center is my best friend. He could be, as well as Rayon, those two could be Team Canada, no problem. But they'll never get a look because they're in Ottawa. Our number one defenseman, the guy who made fun of the diabetes guy, Purdy, he's the best defenseman in every tournament he goes to, but never gets a look. It's really funny how it works for us. But yeah, so we have 2 goalies now, 3 goalies technically. We have 3 goalies. Mitch. So we have Austin and Mitch, and Mitch told me a story because we never brought a backup goalie with us until finally one of our players, Bake, he's like, oh, my goalie in this league will come and just sit on the bench. He's totally cool to do that. I was like, all right, sure. So he drives down with me and he tells me, he's like, do you remember this tournament 4 or 5 years ago? This little gym, you guys dummied everybody? I was like, yeah. Like, you remember some guy asking you, what it takes to get on the Godfathers? I'm like, yeah. He's like, it was me. And but your answer was, we don't let just anybody on The Godfather. And he's like, but now here I am. So, yeah. Our D, sorry?
Oh, I was just gonna say you should have just like turned around and looked at him and be like, dude, it's patience. I just need to make sure you're dedicated. 5 years later, you're on.
Yeah, we're not gonna let a 16-year-old kid on our team. Yeah, but no, we definitely our starting line. You know, we picked up some guys that are just so Ottawa and Quebec are right beside each other. So just across the river is Gatineau, part of Quebec, and so Deck is obviously really huge in Quebec. So one of the top teams there, who plays in the top level when they go to the Burroughs Cups and everything, the young guns. We have a couple of those guys playing with us now too. Obviously, they help offensively. They're amazing, good guys too. Like that's the main thing. Minus Purdy, like it's all good guys, right? So, you know, like Bain and we were gonna have another guy make a debut with us in Philly, but unfortunately, obviously, it was canceled. So, you know, now Pittsburgh's canceled. Our Nationals is everything's canceled. So we're looking for tournaments.
I can think of one in July.
Yeah, well,
we're hoping.
Yeah, how do you get over that border? Didn't he build a wall already on this side now?
I was actually pushing for the Canadian border, but apparently I don't have any support.
Yeah, I think the borders are still closed, but we're still planning, I mean, kind of future to July, right? So it's a couple months away.
When's your tournament?
It's the week. Actually, I'll pull it up. I'll tell you the exact date.
It'll be the weekend of the 13th. It was literally like on my birthday last year.
Yeah, it's usually the week after the 4th of July, which is, I have my calendar. It'll go July 8th through the 12th.
All right. Well, you never know, boys. We might have to do that if the border's open. We'll see what happens in the next month.
Oh, I would say you guys would have a great time there too.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
It's so much fun. I'm not even kidding. It's like a gigantic tailgate. Like it's just so ridiculous, man. There's tents everywhere. We pitch it on every episode. I feel like I'm I feel like a hack. Like I feel like I'm just like a salesman for this tournament.
Yeah, they should be giving you some cash for that. It's like it sounds just like the Burroughs in the, you know, that run the circuit in Montreal. We had a Burroughs here in Ottawa last year for the first time, but you know, for us to play, everybody has to travel, you know, minimum an hour and a half, 2 hours to go to a tournament for that. And it's a 1 day. Is yours a 1 day or?
No, it's
5.
Yeah, it's much different too. So like this one also, like the Burroughs, I think it's kind of a tournament style. So there's really not a lot of face-offs, right? And ours, you have face-offs. So you have a lot more, I'd say,
you can celebrate the goal. Yeah, you can celebrate your goals because after you score, you know, the face-off, you could get your line changes in. Where Burroughs Cup, you know, it's just score and go again. So this one brings that more typical hockey feel to it. Not to mention, like, the open division is absolutely insane for talent.
Yeah. Well, in Burroughs, if you touch anybody, it's a power play. That's all I see. Every time when we play in the Deck in Gatineau, if you go look at our stats in the last 4 or 5 years, I guarantee our penalties to power plays is like 8-2. Like, it's ridiculous. And I'm not even making it up. Like, I'm not making it up. Like, it's such a soft. It's frustrating. Like it's enough to make you quick. Like every time you bump somebody, it's small. Like you should be allowed to make contact and stuff. But for whatever reason, it's just the stats don't lie. So it's very frustrating.
Hey boys, I'm gonna hop and go to the bathroom here real quick. Keep her moving.
Cool. Yeah, there's a little bit more banging in this one too. I mean, you can't just
I saw that.
Yeah, you can't flat out run somebody. Yeah.
No, but you should be able to bump and battle with people.
Exactly. Right. Like as long as you're not getting out of hand and everybody's cool with it, like it's gonna play on.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah. Not to mention the atmosphere, like Mock was talking about it though, it's absolutely insane. Like there's a grocery store, Hy-Vee, down the street, and like a couple of years ago we drank them out of Busch Light. Because everybody was going and like that's what we drink here. And like they had run out of 30 racks because just the constant traffic back and forth. It's great.
That's good. Well, we'll definitely have to look at doing that.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm actually gonna look that up.
If not this year, maybe next year. We have a big boating weekend planned in July. We rent 2 boats and go up the river and just party.
I'll do that here. We've got a giant one. It's right there. Mississippi. Hey, Mock, I'm going to actually do the same thing. You want to kind of jump in?
Yeah.
Drive for a minute?
Not a problem, brother.
You guys have one Arnold Palmer and you can't hold it, or what?
Oh, it's not an Arnold Palmer in here. But
Maybe Shackelford. Going on a road trip with Shackelford is like having like a 2-year-old or something. It's ridiculous. It's
It's not stop
every 3 miles or something. Yeah, that's
you never last in my truck, buddy. You never last in my truck.
He wears Depends just to get by.
No, like I'll admit that I'm terrible. Chicago's only like a 3-hour drive from here, and I'll stop twice.
Come on.
Yeah,
that's awful.
Yeah,
my truck has 2 coolers in the back seat on the floor.
Yeah, driving to Pittsburgh last year was pretty rough.
Yeah, I'll let you guys make fun of me. Oh, it's like 12 hours. We stopped and stayed overnight, and then picked it up the next morning. But I'll let you guys talk about my horrible travel, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, wait, so do you guys get after it the second you gas up the trucks and go, or do you kind of wait for the destination there?
Well, we wait till we cross the border usually.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say, you were telling the story before we started recording this, but you had that interesting run in there at the border where they were fingerprinting you and stuff. It seems like everywhere you go, you end up turning a worst-case scenario into a best-case scenario.
Just smile, man. Just smile. That's all I do. And just be nice. That's all you can do. Just smile and be nice. Have that
but yeah,
be my friend
tell us
face.
what happened crossing the border.
That time we were crossing the border, and when I told them, we gave them the passport, they were looking for a James Dean Brown, but they didn't tell me this. They just said, you just pull over to the right. We go inside, and it's like being in the bank, right? So you're just sitting there waiting for your turn to get call up, and they end up just telling me, like, listen, we're looking for this James Brown. He's wanted for such and such, but we can clear you so you won't have any headaches, but we need to get your fingerprints. So you'll have to come in with us and get fingerprinted. And I'm like, all right, sure. So I go in the back, and meanwhile, I'm telling them all about ball hockey. They're like, so what can you do? What do you wear? And so meanwhile, I'm getting fingerprinted. I'm telling them all this stuff. And one guy goes, are you a little nervous? Your hands are shaking. I was like, I'm at the border getting fingerprinted. I can be a little shaky. And then I started telling them about ball hockey. So the guys that are in the truck with me, they're all like watching from the bank, and there's just like further in, just me like pushing a guy, banging another guy, like, you can do this, you can't do this. And at the end, they're like walking me out, big smiles on their faces. But another time we got stopped at the border because they asked if we have any tobacco. And one of our guys said, yeah, I have some Cubans. And he's like, excuse me? He's like, yeah, I have some Cuban cigars. And apparently you're not allowed Cuban cigars, right? So they pull us over. We go into the bank. We sit in the bank. And they come back and they're like, I told them that I had, we each had a 2-4. And so they asked us, come up here for a second. Say you have a 2-4? I'm like, yeah. Like, you each have a 2-4. I'm like, yeah. Go sit down. You come up. If you have, you say you have Cuban cigars? Yeah. Like, you have a pack of Cuban cigars? Yes, I do. So the guy comes in from the outside. First thing he says is like, is this what you think Cuban cigars are? And they were a pack of like Swiss cigarellos. He's like, yeah, Cubans. Like, they're like my cigars. Like, do you even realize the difference? He doesn't even like think that that's a thing. And then they asked me, like, could you sign this paper saying that you guys all just have a 2-4? And I'm like, okay. Do you guys know what a 2-4 is? They're like, yeah, like 2 4-packs. Like, no, like a 2-4, like 24 beers in a pack. We each have one. And he's like, I've never heard that. Like, it's the thing. Like, have you heard it? And somebody at the other desk, like, yeah, I think Canadians call like what we call, I think you guys called it a flat or something else. Like, yeah, they call it 2-4s. They're like, all right, get out of here. Go, you're good. So we seem to, so nobody, like, there's certain guys who don't want to drive in the truck with me when we're crossing.
No, we'll say a 24-pack. But usually what you're going to see in Iowa is a 30 rack. The rack is 30. Comes in a big old cube.
Yeah, we have 30 packs, we have 48 packs, we have 60 packs. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
well, the craziest thing that I saw, is 64 packs?
60 packs.
60 packs.
This is the thing that really disappoints me about this country, is we could have 60 beers in a case and it doesn't exist. Like, can we not get on board and innovate? That is upsetting to me.
I'll push back on that. I'll push back on that only because, Shaq, if you saw last year when they had the entire pallet at Hy-Vee for $1,000.
No, it was $1,500, and it was literally the pallet that they ship it on. Like, it's got a pallet, and it's still shrink wrap, like all the plastic around it. But those are individual 30 racks. I want a cardboard box with 60 beers in it.
Yeah. Like when we just did it, so we do a golf tournament every year, like our own, just for fun, stupid idiots. Like so many gimmick holes, spin the wheel. Everybody starts off with a Mickey of Fireball. If you finish it by the 9th hole, you get a stroke off your score, stuff like this. So Hunter drew up a map, and we parked my truck in the the corner near the 10th hole. And we both side compartments open, so it's filled with beer. We parked his car in the neighborhood that you have to cross through in the golf course, and we left the back open with cooler full of beers. We stopped in one area, dragged a cooler into the 6th hole and hid it in the bushes by the tee deck because we knew we were taking out we were 8 groups coming through, right? And at the end of the tournament, the owner of the course was so mad. This is in the Quebec side. We had hid 400 beers on his course for our tournament. We had 400 beers.
No, that's unbelievable. But so the one thing that I learned was when we were going out to Corey's tournament out in Pittsburgh, the farther we got, the closer we got to the ocean, because we're coming from the Midwest, the crazier the laws got. And every time we would stop, they would be like, yeah, we can sell you a drink, but it can't be warm. Or we can sell it to you, but you can only buy whatever, make up some crazy law, and they probably have it on the books. But do you guys have any stories like that where you're cutting through and they think you're dumb because you're trying to buy just regular stuff? It's
Pittsburgh. Drove me nuts. We stopped at one place. She told me, I went in to buy 100 and some beers, and she told me that you could only buy a 12-pack per person or something like that. I'm like, what?
That's what happened to me. But they called it two. No. She goes, we can give you 2 6-packs, and I was like,
a grocery store.
Wait, so a 12-pack or 2 6-packs?
Yeah. So she had to keep ringing it through as separate things. It was an old woman, and she was so slow. It was 9:30 at night, and it's 12 different transactions. So slow. And then also, I think it was Boston. One of my buddies, he's a cop, and one of our players, and he was with us. He's already in the McDonald's, and I had stopped to get beer. So I pick up a 2-4. I walk into the McDonald's, and this woman tells me, you can't bring that in here. I said, what? She's like, you can't bring the 2-4 in the McDonald's policy. There is no goddamn policy for bringing a 2-4 closed into McDonald's. Don't even start. I can take this into a courthouse carrying it. It doesn't matter. I can carry wherever I want. It's not open. I was like, just serve me. I'll take this, this, and this. And she just was super mad about it, but still took my order. And she doesn't know that Keith is my buddy. So I go stand beside him, and loud enough for her to hear, I go, hey buddy, you want a beer? she fucking just went, that's it!
How are you not barred from the country by now?
He was so mad. Oh my god. When we were in Tampa. This is when a couple of the Saints were with us, and we're in this hotel. I go to this hotel. We went every time to this hotel. Security Pete knew me. The front desk know me. We're friends on Facebook, right? As soon as they come in, they make sure I have the right rooms over the pool. I would call them ahead of time. we go to the Shepherd's, which is like the main bar there, like bouncers, front, like the girl working the cash remembered me every time, like just let us in, took care of us every time like we were celebrities. And so the two Boston guys are drunk out of their mind with one of our guys. And so we're making a lot of noise. Some old guy comes out complaining by the elevator. Sure enough, something happens where, I'm not going to say which guy did it, but I'm pretty sure one of the Saints guys pulled the fire alarm. So the friggin' fire alarm's going off. This old guy that's yelling at us, we're getting in the elevator. He takes a swing at my buddy Holden. Holden's our fighter, like our little fighter. Like everybody hates him. They call him the little ginger gnome, all this stuff, right? Like he's like, looks like a little MMA guy. Like he loves to go, right? And so the guy takes a swipe at Holden. Holden, the guy said, that's it. And the door closes, like, hold on. So we go down, we find one of the Saints guys. He's on the 4th floor. So we're on the 6th. Fire alarm apparently goes off on the 5th. We find him on the 4th in the stairwell. We bring him up. We put him in our room. We go downstairs. It's friggin' 2 a.m. All the families, kids, everybody's in the front desk. We come around the corner, and that old guy's there. And because of my hair, everybody remembers me. He's like, and that's the guy that pulled the fire alarm. That's why we're all. I'm like, it wasn't. What? and the cops are there, fire department, all these families just looking at me, kids holding teddy bears. Like I just ruined their world, right? So the cop's like, come here. He's like, I'm gonna dust all your fingers for the residue or whatever. And then Hunter, my best friend, smartest guy in the world, he's like, well, if you're gonna check our fingers, then you're gonna check everybody else's in here's fingers. You can't just. And then the guy's like, who do you think you're talking to? He gets all mad. Go to your room. So we all go to our room. Everybody goes back to the room. The next morning, the front desk manager calls up. She's like, James, are you okay? I heard you got blamed for something. Don't worry. We know it wasn't you. Like, they're always trying to take care of. Oh, man.
Yeah, that is absolutely unbelievable. But I noticed you said you got a guy who's, not afraid to throw the gloves. How often does that actually come into play?
Oh, the Saints guys love him. When we play with him, when we were playing with them, and I don't even know where. Right. Anyways, he actually got in an all-out fight with a guy, and they both got double minors, and Saints just love him. He fights. He gets into it fairly often because people just are drawn to him. Right. He'll play hard, and as soon as things happen, then he'll obviously go that next level. He'll do something stupid. He'll chop. He'll do something bad, and then it's all at war, right? So, yeah.
That's wild. Well, I think we're painting a picture of you that you're just, Mr. Nightlife or whatever, but
I am.
You play hockey too, right? I mean, you play hockey too. You got to be pretty good to be on your guys' team. So, tell us, I mean, you say you're a fourth liner now, maybe more of a whatever manager, player, coach kind of guy, but there had to be a heyday in there.
Oh yeah, I used to be able to score and stuff. I still chip in here and there, but no, like I definitely don't have the talent or anything. The last thing I have is speed, which I'm losing during the Corona days, right? So my weight's going the wrong direction, unfortunately.
No, that's all right. Everybody's struggling with it, man. But so there's no hockey right now. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to be. You said you're looking for tournaments. What are you doing to get by?
Well, the Canadian government's giving everybody $10,000 a month, right? So that they can survive during the coronavirus. You guys know that?
So that's like $200 American just for everybody at home.
I'm just kidding. I was just kidding on the amount. But no, I've been actually volunteering, and I started like right when it all right before things shut down, or right when they shut down. One of the business owners in Ottawa, he owns a bunch of restaurants, bars, and things. He donated a bunch of money and started building food boxes with, pasta, fruits, milk, bread, all the necessities for like a small family or whatever. And so people could just call that are in need, older people who can't get out. And I've been going in for basically Monday to Friday for 3-4 hours a day. There's just 10 of us that are like the main people that'll, we have like a system. We're all nice and far away, gloves, masks,
and we'll go around putting like an assembly line of food, and then we'll have lists, and drivers show up, volunteer drivers, who will then take it to the elderly people or people in need. So I've been doing that for the last 3 weeks to a month, I guess, and so that's how my days are kind of going. And I bought a PS4 for the rest of the time. All the boys are playing, hockey and golf now and everything else.
Well, that's good. I think there's a common theme that I think everybody sees within the hockey community, and it's people aren't afraid to give back, honestly. Like, to kind of take
Absolutely.
this to a serious note for a minute, I mean, everybody's a part of the same community, even if you do get snubbed by Team Canada every once in a while. But
Yeah.
Shackelford, you want to ratchet it up and go rapid fire?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You want to lead it?
I'll kick her off. So we've heard 100 of the stories or whatever, but what's the first thing you put in the cooler? What's your favorite drink?
Well, my favorite drink doesn't exist anymore, and that was bubblegum vodka. It was 3 olives. I don't know if you guys ever had it. And from there it was the Dude vodka, 3 olives. Oh, those are the best.
I told you he was going to be a vodka guy, didn't I?
Oh yeah, vodka. I don't drink anything else. Like somebody will give me a vodka water, I'll just throw it in their face. Like, if you don't know what I want, then don't bring me a drink. Like, oh, it's extra. I don't drink rye and Coke or whatever. If it ain't white, it ain't right. So, but I definitely want I like sugar, right? A big candy guy. So 7-Up, any kind of vodka, flavored vodka and 7-Up, I'm down.
All right.
But if it's beers, I go through cycles. The colored part of me wants Heineken all the time. The white part of me goes Corona.
What's the morning after meal, pregame meal?
A pregame meal? I barely eat, actually. Probably I had Fruit Loops today. I don't know. I do not eat healthy. If you ask any of my friends, like, you'll know that chips and candy is pretty much what I live on, and maybe one meal a day.
Jeez. Okay, so you play Celine Dion if you guys lose,
Yeah.
but if you're at the karaoke bar, you get
Oh,
one
that's a
song. What are
funny
you going to
story.
serenade me with?
The Humpty Dance. I won the karaoke at a bar downtown Boston on the Sunday night after a tournament. So I won the karaoke that night. And then a couple years before,
with the Humpty dance.
Yeah, I'm really good, and really good. Just ask me. But a couple years before, when the Saints won the Boston tournament, half those guys, like the good ones, not like the Duggins and stuff, but the good ones, they came out and partied with us, and they took us to that karaoke bar, and Gaduco won the karaoke challenge or whatever. And imagine we were like 20 people in the bar, so all the applause, we dominated it, and we won like 400 US, which we just put to our tab for the night. It basically covered almost our whole tab. It was great. Then they changed it to $100. It's only won 100. But then I bought a guy a beer because he deserved to win, because he was actually good, but I just had more fun.
What's the favorite tournament kind of bar? Like, where's that at for you?
Well, Shepherd's was good. I like Shepherd's in Tampa because it had like an outdoor part too. And one night we were going there. Another night we were going out, but it was raining, and I can't get my hair wet. It looks like a matted cat kind of thing, right? So my buddy goes, Brownie, why don't you just wear a shower cap? So I rocked a shower cap the whole night outside in the bar in the rain. Like, it's just like people are coming up, like taking pictures with me, everything. This is such a sick idea. So I think Shepherd's is the best bar. The ones in Philly that I did like, they all shut down. There was like a good country bar there. I don't know if you like that sort of thing, but they had the mechanical bull. It was just fun to watch it throw people around.
No, we're right in the heart of that action. But so speaking of the shower cap, what's the best Halloween costume you've ever worn? Or is there one that you're planning to wear soon?
I've never been a big Halloween guy, but
Don't lie to me.
No, if I told you, you'd go, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I dressed as only a couple times I dressed up as
because it was easy. Like I dressed as the guy from LMFAO, Red Foo, and I dressed up as Warwick Brown from CSI, Las Vegas. So if you're getting the theme, like I kind of stick to the people that look like me with minimum effort. Yeah, I'm not a big costume guy.
You go Officer Ramazan.
Yes, I could.
Super.
I did wear a tuxedo, one of those bodysuit things where you're all covered up like skin suit. I did wear a tuxedo, one of those to the bar one night on Halloween. That was hard though. That was tough to see.
Unbelievable. Last question I had here. Do you have any tattoos?
Nope. I'm afraid. I feel like it would hurt. No.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. No.
I don't know. I'm beautiful. Why would I put graffiti on it?
Yeah. I worry about it hurting too much, and then I see every little chick has it. Like everybody has them, but I'm still too much of a wimp to try.
That's unbelievable. But dude, okay, so you have to have a life outside of all of these stories that you've been telling us.
It's pretty much.
What is your actual life like? What do you do for a living? Like, how are you a person?
I run a small company called Lulu Lounge. So we're like an event company. We supply like really cool furniture and stuff for all like parties and events and things. So the guys that work for me are all like my hockey buddies. Like, you know, a couple of the guys on our team actually work for me, and it's super easy, laid back, show up, just get the job done, and schmooze with everybody. Like the way you see me is the way I actually am all the time. Like with my family, with, you know, like my work. You ask anybody, like, yeah, it's just, that's just the way it is. I'm cool with it.
I love it, man. Aye. Well, I'm hoping that you end up getting to our tournament here. I think it would be freaking amazing. I think you would love it, man. I really am.
I will for sure. Yeah, if not this year, which is probably unlikely, we would definitely try and make a move to do it the following year. It was just a summer tournament.
Yeah. I don't know, Shaq. I'm kind of tapped out here, buddy, and it's about dinner time for me.
I know we've been going for a while, and I also am hungry. So, 5:30. Plus the dog's over here whining constantly, so she needs attention. It's kind of distracting.
Now we'll wrap it up with.
My girlfriend's doing
seriously, man. Appreciate you coming on. I mean, the stories. I can't wait to read. Honestly, I can't wait to read the comment section for this and just see what people say. And if anybody even makes it this far into our videos, I have literally no idea. But we'll bring you on again, probably 100 more times. Tell us what you want to know about this clown, because you're like a living cartoon character. I love it.
The one thing that people don't know that I definitely want people to know is where the Godfather name came from. Does anybody people think because I'm James Brown, right? The Godfather of Soul, but that's actually not where the name came from. And it was one of our buddies, Dave Samard, came up with it because Hunter had this condo right downtown Ottawa, like right in the market where all the bars, the partying is, and we all would go there, and that's where our night started. We pre-drink, go to the bar, back there post-drink. Like I'm talking like 1,000 square foot condo with like 30, 40 people in it, before the bars and after the bars. And he referred to him as the Godfather, like in the movie Old School. Right? When Vince Vaughn, when Luke Wilson shows up, and he's like, here he is, the Godfather himself. And that's basically where the name was born. We were going to our first tournament, like a provincial tournament, and he's like, we should call ourselves the Godfathers. I was like, I like it. So that's how the name actually started. And I wear 87 because of Donald Brashear, not because of Crosby.
I wasn't even going to bring it up, man. That's a heated debate that I don't need to get into. There's no right answer there.
Crosby. Yeah, I get beaked all the time. Oh. Crosby. Yeah, like no, Brashear. The first guy to wear 87.
Yikes. That's how it is too with like guys who would wear 88 because of Lindros, and now Kane wears it. And they're like, oh, cool, Patrick Kane, man. Like, I feel bad.
No, there's always can only be an original for a reason, right?
No, I like it.
That's what we did with our extra deck jerseys. I just randomly Googled, like best 100 hockey names and the numbers. And one of them's 63, and everybody's like, oh, it's Brad Marchand. I'm like, no, I think it's like Jeff Bookaboom. And I picked it just because it's an awesome last name. I'm like,
Oilers. Oilers.
That's what, yeah.
Rangers,
This is one Womack always wears, and it's like, oh, give me my Marchand. I'm like, stop calling it that. It's not Brad Marchand. Pisses me off every time.
Who owns number 1?
Probably like Lundqvist. That's the only person I can see that has a 1 on their jersey.
Well, I think like George Hainsworth in 1932 with the Montreal Canadiens. But whatever you can say.
I was born in '88, so I wasn't around for that.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Well,
Lundqvist
we'll definitely.
No, Lundqvist
We'll
is 30.
What's that?
I think Lundqvist is 30.
30, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know goalies and their numbers.
Yeah, don't mess with my
33.
goalie numbers, man. I got you here.
Who's 33?
Patty Waugh.
Ooh.
That's right. That's my favorite.
You guys know how I feel about goalies. So once we start diverging into the goalie talk here, it's time for me to call it a day. But James Brown, Ottawa Godfathers, the Golf Fathers, the everything else. We appreciate you coming on, but I think everybody kind of needed a break from the monotony, and throwing a little bit of a chuckle into everybody's life, I'm sure, is greatly appreciated. So we'll have you on again for sure, because I'm sure there's 100 more stories. So we'll figure it out here. But for Ryan Shackelford, Michael Holtz, Sean Clark, and obviously James Brown, I was Eric Mock this entire time. Make sure to check out Deck Hockey Focus, and we've been trying to put these more on Facebook. So tell us what you guys want to hear, and we hope you really do appreciate it. Stay tuned for more.